Hey, what is going on, everybody? In this interview today, I'm interviewing one of our consulting blueprint clients, Jeremy Degg. And Jeremy joined our program when he was just getting started. He had no clue where to start. He just knew that he wanted to start his own business. He was a young guy and knew that he wanted more for his finances, more for his life, and just decided, you know what, I'm just going to get some help. I'm going to take a risk and just dive all the way in with a group of coaches. And we've worked with him pretty intimately now for just about, I'd say about 5 months. And he came in at raw zero. So he had no previous experience with business, had never sold anything on his own fruition. And he decided to invest with us. And we've helped him now grow to the point where this past month he brought in personally about $10,000 into his bank account, selling consulting services in the form of marketing services to businesses. So Jeremy's an incredible dude. I'm really excited for this interview. And what's funny is our entire client community of over 200 students and clients in our consulting blueprint program and in our higher level programs are all looking forward to this interview. So Jeremy's an incredible dude. It's an honor to have watched him grow, and I'm looking forward to this interview. Be sure to watch it in full. If you're a total beginner and you're not even sure if you want to start a business, or you don't really know if it's for you and you're not really sure if you want to get help or not, I think this is going to be a really valuable interview for you to watch, because Jeremy has fundamentally uprooted his life and changed it thanks to our program and thanks to our help, which is an incredible thing to see, and I'm honored by the fact that we've been able to help him. So welcome to the channel, Jeremy Degg. All right, Mr. Jeremy, welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Dude, it's a real pleasure, dude. You've grown a lot. When you first joined the program, it's incredible to see the difference, not just in your business, but also, the whole team talks about just this shift in like you and your confidence and like your personality. Even it's just like a huge difference. So, dude, just walk us through. I mean, I never prep anything for these. Just walk me through what the experience has been like. This past month you had a record month, which is incredible, and now you're at a point where you're rivaling the income level of like some like even some lawyers. So like you've got a real business, and I want to just kind of bestow that to you, because I remember when I first started to succeed, it didn't feel real, but it is real, and you're doing it. So congratulations on that, dude, and walk us through how it feels and how the journey's been.
Yeah, so I mean, I joined the program I'd say around 4 months ago, 3 months, maybe around that. Yeah, I joined without any clarity. I saw, your progress, your profile, and I was like, wow, this guy's doing really well. I'm not really where I want to be, and I want to, succeed alongside him. And I wasn't even in the buying stage, honestly. I was just super interested, just had a dream. So that led to me booking a call, and I was like really blown away by the amount of value that I saw that you provided for your clients. So even though I wasn't in a buying situation, I didn't even have any really money. So I thought, but yeah, I mean, it led to me purchasing, going into the program, and, just seeing a ton of value, growing my business to where it's at right now, from really just having no clarity whatsoever in my business, and also in, my mind, to now, having like a stable revenue.
That's awesome, man. So yeah, that's a great way to sum it up, right? What have been the key things that you've learned over these past? Because even my intro, I just recorded it with my phone just before we got started. That's always how I do it. I sort of like keep it synchronistic like that. And I said 5 months. I thought it was 5. I'm just gonna leave that in the intro because I want people to know that
Okay.
I didn't even know that it was that quick. So that's pretty cool. So 3 or 4 months. What have been the main things that you've taken away from the team and the coaches and the community and the content? Like what are some of the main themes that you found have really pushed you over the ledge to the point where you are now?
I mean, where do I start? I mean, the main thing that I learned was, having raises and dips in business, and not only in life, and really using those to your advantage. Like when you have dips, it's more so, it's inevitable. So using those to your advantage in terms of, um, whether it's investing in more time in what you need to work on, or whether it be, doubling down on something you need to work on a little more. Uh,
Mm,
just raises and dips in those kind of ways just really help a ton, especially because they're inevitable.
mm. What else? Keep going. I want to hear more because I'm just curious.
Yeah.
This is a special moment for me. Like I get to really hear. All right, like what worked?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the dips and raises, and also, the team, the community helped, a ton. I remember I was alone in my journey, so I had no idea like what was working, what was not working. You know, having these Facebook groups that like that were inactive, asking blank questions with no responses. I had no clarity on really what was, actually working until I joined the program. You guys helped me with my offer. You guys helped me with outreach methods because I was doing cold email and was getting, literally no response.
Mm.
And then after that, I tried, the outreach method that you teach in your program, and I started, getting calls every day, like one call a week, one call a day,
Mm.
3 calls a day, and
Mm.
beyond. And that was all from the methods that you teach. And seeing that without cold email was really funny because it came from 0 to like 100 really quick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's different for every client. Sometimes it takes them a few months to get the momentum going. Sometimes they hit the ground running. I think it comes down to the attitude of the person and like they'll say on the phone when they're joining us, like, I can't wait, I'm so excited. And they get into the program and they're like, yeah, and they just kind of roll off 30 days. You were one of those guys, and I would encourage you if you're on the fence about joining us that when you join, genuinely, you are going to get out what you put in. We have the blueprint. That's why it's called the consulting blueprint. I think it was called high level systems there for a while, but I realized that like that was honestly scaring a lot of people away because we're not that high level. It's actually quite simple what we do. Build your offer, get you some sales training, help you know how to sell, get you some sales calls organically using groups and social media like Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. So it's quite simple, but it scales really well. So on almost a tactical level, what were some misconceptions that you had about running this business that have now been cleared for you? Because I think what holds a lot of people back, and honestly, for the viewer watching this, whether they join our program or not, I genuinely just want to see them succeed, even if they don't pay us a dime. So, what are some of, if I could summarize it, like the tactical, like false beliefs that you had, maybe about sales or prospecting or your offer, who knows, that you've alleviated that have allowed you to move a lot quicker since joining us?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how simple this business model is. I thought it was like super complex in terms of creating your offer, sales calls, and even marketing. I thought you had to do, a ton of back end systems when it comes to reaching out. I thought you had to like buy like softwares, invest in maybe an accountant or appointment setter. But really it just comes down to you, a phone, a laptop, and Facebook, and the help of the team. And
Yeah.
also in sales calls, it's really just a 3-step process that your offer is, and you don't need to do any technical talk, and just really just stating your 3-step process in an outcome level.
Yeah.
It's really,
What
I
do you mean by
mean,
that?
it's really funny because I thought it was, so complex, but it's not complex whatsoever.
It's not.
So it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean by 3-step process? Like walk people through what you mean. What did you learn about sales there? Because I want to pick that apart. I think somebody was going to comment like, "Oh, what did he mean by that?" And I figured I would just catch that comment before it arrives in the comment section.
Yeah, I mean, 3-step process in terms of your offer. So once you
Mhm.
state your offer, I thought it was going to be, a huge list of what I provide for a client, what I do in terms of this, in the next
Mhm.
12 months, all the internals, but really it's just an outcome-based 3-step process. My process is setup, sales, scaling. We get your sales consistently every single week until you hit,
Mhm.
X per month, and then scaling, over time until we hit even
Yep.
higher revenue months. So those are just,
Yep.
basically the 3 things that I say, or 2, I said 2,
Yeah.
but that's basically it.
I love it, dude. And for a lot of the beginners, man, I found when I was coaching, because I started off doing one-to-one with people, right? And then we scaled into the program we've got now. And I found so many were losing at that point because they get on a call, it'd be valuable, they get to know each other, they'd ask a lot of questions, and my student, my client would be holding the frame well, leading the call. At the end, they would get to the offer and they would just do like 20 minutes of technical blurb. And like I like had to fix that. I was like, all right, so how can I fix that? So I realized like, all right, it's not tech blurb. It's you do probably 2 minutes of here's the main 3 things I want to do for you. And then you hand it back to the client and you ask what their questions are. And then all of a sudden you're gonna hear the objections, you're gonna hear the concerns, and you just handle those. And then you give them an incentive to move with you on the call. financially. And like that's it. It's literally that simple. And even if your offer has like 15 deliverables, just talk about the 3 dominoes that you're going to knock over for the client. They're going to move them closer to their desired state. Like in our offer building training, we help you build, what those 3 pillars are, help you define the desired state, because that's what people buy, right? They don't buy services, they buy outcomes. And so on that call, you're really discussing where they are now, where they want to get, and what's stopping them. And let me ask you, this is an interesting question. Maybe when you first heard that from me, I said, hey, it's just 3 things. Where are they now? Where do they want to get? What's stopping them? What was your first impression when you heard that? And now that it's worked for you, what's your impression of it now? Like, because I remember when I was getting coached, I was like, oh, there's no way it's that simple. And then like I did it, I was like, oh, frick. So like maybe that's the case for you. I don't know. What was your perception of that method at the start and then now?
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the offer training and you told me those 3-step pillars, I was like, there's no way this is gonna work. This is too simple. This guy literally only said 3 sentences. And then I started using it in my sales process, and I was shocked by how much people like really loved what I was offering. I had a call with the guy yesterday. He said my offer was literally irresistible, and he was going to move forward within like he was ready to move forward just from those 3-step processes. So that's really amazing to see, because I had no belief in it at first, especially because how short it is, and also coming from how I thought it was so much bigger than what it actually is, but it's not.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. The more information you give a client, the more things you give them to think about, right? And if they're thinking about anything
Mm-hmm.
other than, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this, then you've lost them. Because if they're thinking about all these variables, they're going to leave, because they're going to be like, oh, I got to think about it. Because they have like 9 things to think about next. You've given all this information. So you need to keep it very, very binary. Either they do or they
Mm-hmm.
don't. And if you can keep the conversation there, then you can control the frame a lot better. And frankly, especially if you believe in your offer and you know that you're doing something of value to people, I believe it's your duty to make sure that they don't get distracted and get too in their heads, and that they actually can make a rational decision about this. Yeah, dude, I love it, man. So it sounds like the main is in the community, some clarity of like prospecting, sales, your offer. It's just kind of the whole 9 yards. Tell me, like, where do you want to get to? Let's say next 12 months for your business. What are you thinking is going to happen, and where do you want to see yourself getting to? And like, what are your longer term goals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so in the next 12 months, I definitely want to see multiple 6 figures within a year time frame. So that means
Mm-hmm.
anywhere from, I'd say, 300 to 200, 300 K a year. And it looks
Mm-hmm.
like that's going to happen, I think even sooner. By the program, I thought, I had a really bad clarity. So having so much clarity within the program, I feel like is going to bring so much, it's going to be like way easier for me to, actually scale, especially like within a shorter time from 12 months.
What did you think you would be capable of, and how does that compare to what you now know that you are capable of?
Yeah. Honestly, I thought I wasn't capable of, selling people on, $1,500 offer or a 3K offer per month, especially. And, it's just crazy to see that those are coming into fruition, especially like I had no sense of any business knowledge or any marketing skills before I joined the program. All I had was, a dream of, you know, building a business. And having the
Mm-hmm.
clarity that I do have now, especially with the team, it brought so much more in terms of like actually succeeding in those kinds of levels.
That's so cool, dude. I'm soaking up every moment, dude. I freaking love it. Like I remember being on your receiving end and feeling the transition, and dude, it's a powerful. Like you could probably agree with me. It's like literally life changing, and like we don't
It is.
teach anything that's let's say scripture verse. It says there's nothing new under the sun, right? There's nothing new. We just teach the basics of like here's how to understand market need. Here's how to develop relationships that lead to sales. Here's and then we apply those basics, the fundamentals of business that have worked for forever, to a new shiny model that gets you moving very quick. And so I think there's some real
Mhm.
magic there. But dude, I mean, I love to hear it. Like you're closing 1,500, 3,000 a month clients. Is there somebody in the background there? Are we good to keep going? I don't know.
Yeah, it's my cousin. Sorry about that. It's all
It's
good.
totally fine, dude. I don't think I've ever met her. I'll just keep the recording rolling. I don't care, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met any of your family or anybody like that, but it's good to meet the crew.
Yeah,
So cool, man.
it's
So
funny that you
200,
say that
300K a year, like, go ahead.
yeah, it's funny that you say that because my family literally doesn't know what I do at all. I'm sometimes like just
Awesome.
in the room or whatever. You know, I tell them, "Oh, I just signed a client." You're like, "What do you even do?" Like my cousin
Yeah,
that just
that's
walked up, she
awesome,
has
dude.
no idea what I'm doing either. Yeah.
That's so funny, bro. That's so funny. What's their best like interpretation of what you do? Have they gotten close yet?
They just know it's some online business. They just know that I'm interested in business and that it's something that I do online, and that's about it. If I try to explain to them, they're
That's
just
cool,
gonna be
man.
like, "What are you talking about?"
It won't, dude. Trust me, it won't be long before you're just blowing their minds, bro. It won't be long. Like they'll be like, "Whoa, this is like the real deal." You'll get
Yeah.
there. Hey, seriously, what happened? And then you'll be like like one moment like for me was like when I got my mom that watch. It was like a $11,000 watch. I paid for it in cash, like on the spot, bought it for her, and then she was like, "Oh, like this is like legit." Because like if you can find ways, Jeremy, like a little tip that I can give you, and I'll just keep the recording going, was like if you can find ways to make it real for your family, then they will support you in a way that you didn't realize they were capable of. Because until they really can see what it does for them, they won't know how to support it, right? So like with my sister, like she's really into horses, and like she wants to own a horse barn one day. And so like I'll take like all the business principles that I'm learning here and like boil them down and help her with like starting her horse barn, right? And I'll even like show her like, how she could maybe even get clients and stuff, and teach her the basics of, customer relationships and all that. And then also, I'm buying her some jewelry soon, and then like with my brother, like he's got a landscaping business and he wants to start landscape consulting. And so it's just like figuring out ways to serve your family, dude. Especially since you're living with them. For me, that was a big one. It was a really, really big one. It was getting them understanding the dynamics of what I do by blessing them with it, and then explaining how it can serve them as well. But anyway, that's off topic a little bit, but still worth noting, I guess.
For sure. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Well, so walk me through. I don't know. I feel like your story's so clear. 200 to $300,000 a year is the goal. You've gotten here in 3 or 4 months. I guess what would you say to that beginner who is just getting started? Somebody like, what would you say to you 4 or 5 months ago? Um, and how would you encourage them? Like, what do you think you needed to hear? Because I think that will really speak to, the hearts of some of these people that are just trying to get started.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, if I were to tell myself, 4 months ago that I would be at the position now, with, the action that I took, honestly, it's like pretty breathtaking because I had so much limiting beliefs, so much things that were unclear, even mindset wise, just, life wise, everything. Like, really, again, business does kind of like flow into your life. So, also seeing that as well. And yeah, if I were to
Mm,
tell a beginner that just, don't make things too complex, make a decision on the fly. It doesn't have to be concrete. Just make a decision, roll with it. If it doesn't work out, that's just how it is, but most of the time it really does work out.
mm. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, when I joined this program, I was not sure at all. I didn't even have any, I thought I didn't even have money to invest in it. And I
Mm,
wasn't even, 100% sure in everything, my business, the program. But, I took the leap of faith. And that also really just goes a long way, and just putting in the work consistently every single day, even when you don't have, a clear path in front of you. So yeah, just
mm.
always staying consistent, and no matter if it's unclear, just keep going at it and keep learning along the way as well.
It's good, dude. It's almost like I've told the community before. It's like there's no such thing as like bad decisions, just decisions that you didn't actually make at a core level. So like
Mhm.
there's no right or wrong, even like what niche you choose or what your service is, or like where you decide to post your content or how you decide to source your call. Like there's no right or wrong decisions. It's just decisions that you didn't commit to. And I think once somebody understands the power of that concept, because it's fundamentally changed my life, it's not just helped me grow my business, but it's encouraged me like just to get married. It's like I know I'm gonna marry, so just get married. And then like I know I'm gonna move out, so just move out. And like I know I'm gonna try and scale my business, so why not just do it now? You know, it's just like it's eliminating that time gap between like where I am now and where I desire to be. And just saying like, why can't I just do it now? You know, and just decide to commit instead of being like, oh, maybe one day, or having this concept in my head of like, oh, once I'm here, then I will be happy, or once I get this, then I can. No, just decide to commit. It almost sounds like that's one of the concepts that not just push you over the ledge to invest with us, but honestly, more importantly, is one of the concepts that has your business growing at the rate it's growing at currently, if I'm correct.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially like beginners always have this, like, well, for me at least, I always had this limiting belief that I wouldn't get the most out of, a program because I'm a beginner, and like there's a ton of people that are succeeding above me, so I wouldn't have, the best results. But it's actually the opposite,
Mm.
like seeing how much results I was getting because of I was, surrounded by these great, people, these great minds. I think that was like a really, like, one of the main things that helped me grow my business. Like if this program only gives you this community, like I would, invest like 3x of what it is right now.
I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, I've told our audience pretty transparently that we will turn away people that we don't think are a good like add to the community. We still got things we can do for them, and we'll refer them to the right person or whatever. But yeah, dude, like we only say yes to people that we know for a fact we can help. And I think what we saw with you was just like you just wanted it so bad, you know, and like you really did want it really bad. And some people say that they want it, but they don't actually want it. They just want the community, or they say that they want it, they don't actually want it. They just want to see like what we teach. They say that they want it, but they don't. But like if you actually want it, then we can help you. And like that's more than anything the prerequisite to the investment is that you like really truly desire to fundamentally uproot your life, grow your business, and evolve. So dude, I just want to say thanks for representing what it looks like to be an absolute beginner and get the most out of a program, because one of my mentors says that the quality of your prospects defines like the quality of your product. And I feel like it's people like you that make our community what it is. And it's so above me at this point that I just want to say thanks for leading the way, man. It really is really cool to be able to just like back guys like you. This interview will cause a ton more people that are just like you to join, and you're going to see that influx over the next, 90 days or so. You're gonna be like, oh, frick, they're like just like me, and it's amazing what a story can do, So congratulations on your success, man. Is there anything that you wanted to share, maybe that you were thinking before the call? You're like, oh, I want to make sure I say this that you didn't get the chance to, or otherwise we can start to wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a total beginner, just don't think too much about, making the right decision or having a concrete decision. Just always just take that leap of faith and just focus on actually taking action. Thinking too much won't get you there, but action will.
Mm.
And I just want to thank Trey for actually helping me grow my business to where it is right now. Honestly, like, it's life changing. It's really breathtaking in my life and also my business. So again, thank you so much.
Absolutely, dude. The respect and thanks goes both ways for sure. We would not have the program we have if we didn't have the quality of people that we are honestly like lucky and blessed to attract. So, total pleasure, man. Thanks for being here, and thanks for some of your time.
Thank you so much.
Speak soon.